Hello, welcome back. Episode 2, not a big deal. We're already rolling through this one. LA Kings up next. First, we talked over the Buffalo Sabres. Now we're going on to California, to LA. And here they're in an interesting situation. This is NHL team talk. And we go over a very few select teams, teams that are pretty important this year going into the 2020 draft. Teams like the Sabres, Kings, Senators, Red Wings, and the Rangers. Now, we already previously talked about the Sabres, as I mentioned already. And I thought I could do a little better personally. I mean, it was just my first test run. I think this one might be a little more interesting. I'm not going to lie. You see a team like LA, you're kind of older. It's an interesting team considering their recent success in 2012 and 2014. But again, a team like this with almost $7 million in cap space, 3 second-round picks this year, and a first being the second overall. A very interesting take what the LA Kings can do. Personally, I think they're in a pretty good position. Again, although, looking at some of the things, maybe not. Okay, they're probably going to be a while till they actually are good again. Guys like Kopitar, they're still really good. And Dowdy, he's still good, but I think he put up like 30 points this year, which, for a defenseman of his caliber should not be doing. He should be doing a lot more. I've always looked at Dowdy like a franchise guy. I think he's a franchise player. Kopitar is also very good. But let's look down the people who have they signed this year, if they even re-sign. You got Trevor Lewis, who's making $2 million. He's 33 years old. He plays any position on the forward. I'm pretty sure he's mainly right wing, if I'm not too sure about that one though. Then you got this guy Nikolai Prohorkin. I've heard a little bit about him. He's almost 27 years old. He's going to be an RFA this year. He's still off his ELC, which is an entry-level contract. And then you had Austin Wagner. Again, he's 23 years old. He's an RFA, and he's also coming off his entry-level. And then you go down to their defensive core. They have Ben Hutton, who's a UFA, making 1.5. He's about 27 years old. He's not bad. I would say he's probably the second best defenseman on the LA squad. If that's the case scenario, that's a problem. And then you have Sean Walker, who's making $745 right now, but he's also on his entry level, and he's going to be an RFA. He's only 25 years old. He's still pretty young. I don't see him turning into too much, but you never know. And Joakim Ryan, also 27 years old, not coming off his entry-level contract, therefore he's a UFA. And goalies. Let's see what's going on with the goalies. Nothing. Just eating a lot of cap. Jonathan Quick, 5.8 until 2023, 2024. And let's take a look at the cap per position. The forward group's got around 30 mil at 29.59. Defense, I believe, is around 13.5 on the nose. I'm talking next year without re-signed contracts. And then you look at goalies, 6.58, which is a lot. Not a lot. Considering their backup, Cal Pedersen is pretty cheap. Not gonna lie. They're a decently young team. I would say their average age is around 27, I believe. But it's still pretty young, maybe 27, 28, which is, again, really, really young, I believe, But then, again, you look at the picks this year. They got the first round, which is second overall. They have their own second, Vancouver's second, and Vegas is second. So, they're not going to be early second-round picks, but they're going to be pretty deep. But they're still second-round picks. You never know. A guy like Lundqvist was drafted in the 7th round, so you don't know what you can get in the second. And a guy like Braden Point was drafted in the 3rd. You look at those guys. They come up quick. They come up buzzing, and you never know what you can get in that second round. It's pretty big. So let's take a look at what they have to re-sign. Trevor Lewis, he's been a part of this team for a long, long time. He's 33 years old. I can see him resigning, although I feel like, okay, I think they have to re-sign him. I mean, he's been on the team for, again, a long time now, and I feel like you can't let a guy like him go, even though if you're struggling and he probably doesn't want to come back, you might have to give him a little extra few bucks, because no offense, I wouldn't want to play for LA either, even with the bringing in of the second overall pick. I mean, how can you not want to play with the guy like Anze Kopitar, or guys coming up like Iafallo, Arthur Kaliev, and even Turcotte. Adrian Kempe is also he doesn't have to get re-signed, because he's still on that 3-year contract, which is going to turn into 2 years next year. He's 23 years old. He's pretty good. I believe that he's going to be one of those players that you can just rely on for a deep run, you know. I don't really see him becoming a first-line player, but there's a chance. You never know. You look at a lot of different people. With Sorelli last year, he was like a fourth liner, barely making it to the team. Now he's a second liner. Guys like that, it's, you never know. He's also a center and plays left wing, Adrian Kempe. There's not really a lot to talk about for LA's depth chart, I'm not gonna lie. Drew Dowdy, that contract, it looked good for the time being, but the fact that it's gonna be old and he's already starting to regress, I think it's not looking good. 11 mil for a long time. There's not a lot to talk about because they're not that good. I mean, Tim Schaller, his contract's gonna end this year, even though he wasn't playing. Free up about $825,000, and then you got the retained salary also ending next year of Kyle Clifford and Derek Forbort. And the buyout history, here's the big problem. Phaneuf's contract's going to be around $4 million, a little over. And the recapture penalty, Mike Richards, is also going to end. And then the terminated, this is also a big deal. Mike Richards and Ilya Kovalchuk, around $7 million for those two players, which is costing them a lot of money. Because think about it, you got free agency, you got stuff, you got to re-sign people. It's a big deal. You look at again, Tim Schaller. I mean, they could re-sign him. I'm not too sure. Carl Grundstrom, he's still young, 22 years old. He's on his entry level, so I mean, I don't believe they have to re-sign him. Yeah, they're not really looking too dangerous with the re-signs, but they still have to make some moves, I would think, at the draft. Maybe not open money, but open opportunity. And then Matt Luff, I believe they had it signed, 23 years old. It's going to be interesting. They got, again, Alex Turcotte, Kaliev, and Tyler Madden. I can see at least Turcotte playing in the NHL next year. Maybe not Tyler Madden just yet. Maybe there's a chance, full-time spot. Kaliev, I think he'll be fourth or third line guy. He's got a really good shot. And then you look at defenseman Tobias Bornfoot, who's a loan. I don't know why he's loaned, but something I don't really look into. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I do look into a lot of this stuff, I don't really look at loans. And then the goalie situation, they have to re-sign Kevin Poulin and Cole Keller here. 22 years old is Cole Keller. He's on his entry level. He's making $745. Have to re-sign. He's an RFA. And Kevin Poulin, I believe they should probably keep him, although the chances of them keeping him are very low because he's probably going to go somewhere else. He is a UFA. Now, let's take a look at the free agency class coming up, who I believe they could sign. It's going to be small players, maybe a defenseman or two. Nothing too particular. Again, I'm looking at a low-key defenseman, like a Delzato. I can see them picking up a guy like Delzato, especially if they lose Ben Hutton. I can see them picking up Delzato because I don't think Anaheim's really going to sign them. Or Mark Borowiecki. I think Borowiecki could kind of fit in his LA's system. I believe so. Another UFA defenseman, TJ Brody. I don't really see him. He's another right defenseman. I don't think they really need right defenseman right now, especially if Dowdy starts to step it up. You have your number one guy there. Maybe Joel Edmondson. If they get rid of Ben Hutton, I can potentially see it. But again, there's nothing, not a lot. I don't think they're going to make a big move for like Pietrangelo or even Krug, something like that. Tyson Barrie, if they were to get Tyson Barrie, they'd have to make a big push. Now, going on to the draft. The draft's one of the main concerns for me if I was an LA fan, because I wouldn't say concern, but you can't go wrong. Am I right? You got Tim Stützle and Quentin Byfield, two, for me, key players in this draft. I thought Stützle was a consensus number 2 pick, but now looking at it, Byfield kind of fits in the LA system. You look at LA, you got big guys. You got Carter, Kopitar. I'm not sure Brown's too big, but I know he's like 6 foot, I believe, which again is, not too small when you look at guys. He's around 6 foot. A lot of 6'2", 6'1" guys. Adrian Kempe 6'2". Iafallo 6. But then you got Blake Lizotte, 5'7", and then you got Curtis McDermott, which is a 6'5". He's a big boy. Let's put it that way, big boy. They're going pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. Another big center, like they took Vilardi in one of their drafts, a 6'2" guy, 185. I can see them taking Byfield, putting him at the number 2 position, moving down Vilardi and Lizotte, and potentially they're gonna have to move. Here's the problem. Here's what I see the problem. Their center core is too good. Even though Stützle plays center, he also plays left wing. I don't see Byfield moving to a wing position. I think that they're going to have to move Lizotte or Vilardi to the wing, or move Turcotte to the wing. There's so many different opportunities, I think. Because tell me right now, if they take Stützle, he's definitely a second line at the minimum, I believe. Taking replace of Trevor Moore, even though Kempe's on that third line, which I don't know why, but he's on the third line. If they can go, honestly, if they really take Stützle, again, second line, pushing first line, I don't think they're going to replace Iafallo just yet. And then, again, a guy like Byfield, you're going to have to move Vilardi, Lizotte, or Turcotte to the wing. Personally, I think I'd move Vilardi to the wing. Although he has a big presence, maybe Turcotte moves to right wing, maybe left. I don't know, that'd be a pretty cool line of Vilardi, Turcotte, and then Stützle, or Vilardi, Turcotte, and Byfield. Although all 3 players are centers, you can move Vilardi to the left, Turcotte to the right. Although I really, really do not see them turning to that position now. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. This is going to be a short episode, guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to talk a little more before I leave. Byfield is a 6'3" center, weighing around 214, 215 area. It's a big boy. He's got really pretty good hands. And then you look at a guy like Stützle. He's like 5'11", almost 6 foot, a $187. More primarily a left wing, although he can play the center position. I believe Los Angeles is going to take whoever they think is going to be fine. No, Ottawa's not stressing out, because whoever LA takes, they're going to take the next guy, kind of like the Rangers and Devils. Devils are going to take Kakko or Hughes. The Rangers are going to get Kakko or Hughes. Doesn't matter who they were going to get. They were in a perfect position. I believe LA is going to take Byfield in this situation. He was always the number 2 pick, and I don't really see them changing that. Even though Stützle improved like enormously. He did pretty good in the DEL. Some unreal plays, I believe. You're probably LA's probably gonna go big here again and take Byfield as their number 2 pick moving into next year, 2020, 2021. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next week, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Do not forget, this has been NHL Team Talk, and I'll see you guys in the next